Hi everyone, so this will actually be my magic video for this week. I'm going to do this early, and lo and behold, unbeknownst to my knowledge and whatnot, there were previews for Aether Revolt that took place over the weekend, and a couple with the packaging we got on Monday with one of the articles from Magic. The stories have actually started in the actual Magic stories. And yeah, so I'm actually going to this episode is going to be talking about the over the weekend previews. They said they're going to be dropping some more stuff before spoiler season and something special on Christmas. My guess would be the actual Tezzeret, not the one we have right now, which I'll get to everything. But let's start with the one that I used as a thumbnail. We have our Ajani. Now, Ajani showed up in the story. We were wondering if we were actually going to get him as a card. And this looks like, yeah, we got him as a card. So we have Ajani, and just adjusting that, Ajani Unyielding. He is a 4 generic, 1 white, 1 green planeswalker. Love the art, by the way. The art's great. That's just imposing and badass. 4 loyalty to start with. Now, his plus is a +2, meaning on turn 1 you can give him to a 6. Reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all non-permanent cards revealed this way into your hand, and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. So, you're getting your sorceries and you're getting your instances for free. A free draw on those, assuming you're running a deck that way. And then you can just, cycle through your deck. But frankly, unless you're running a spell-heavy strategy, and I want to be sure I am, all non-land permanent. Sorry, I misread that. I'll put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way. So you're getting free creatures, free artifacts, free enchantments, more or less. 3 planeswalkers. That's, now that I say it now like that now, that's a lot better than I was making it. I'm like, why? That doesn't make any sense. So you're getting some free stuff, depending, and you're going to put your lands on the bottom of your deck, basically, in your instances. Which, given the fact when you play this guy, you're probably going to have 6 mana available to play as it is, because even if you cheat him out, most of the ways to cheat things out is not like Elvish Pipe or anything like that, even though that wouldn't bring him out anyway. It's through mana ramping, so you'll have at least 6 mana to play with anyway, so generally speaking, you should be able to play most of the stuff in your deck at that point anyway. But his -2 is exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. See, I always kind of counter the argument that life gain is not a viable strategy. Life is what you're trying to whittle down in Magic. If someone's got a way of either stopping you from taking their life or gaining more life on their part, I'm just going to do that, sorry, gaining more life on their part, it means the game's going to drag out longer. So, I mean, it's very rarely just gaining life a winning strategy, but it's definitely a good stall, and then you have other ways to win. While the removal is very good, I think a lot of people love the removal aspect. The fact that especially if they got like a big thing on the battlefield, no, I don't like that ability. I don't like that, especially because you're going to probably be using it to get rid of some of their big stuff, or like if they got any of the Titans on the field, or the Gear Hulks is what I meant to say. Gear Hulks, Dragons, whatever. Eldrazi are still around right now, so I don't know. I don't honestly like that ability. But then we get to his -9. His -9 is put 5 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, and 5 loyalty counters on each other planeswalker you control. So, in 3 turns, as long as you're using the +2/+2, you will get to this -9 ability, which, as far as ultimates go, if you're running a big ramp deck kind of style, or tokens or something like that, that ultimate's something you'd want to get to. And, if you have other planeswalkers, I heard the Super Friends brought up again, and yeah, that's a Super Friends style deck. So, I could see it. I could definitely see it being used. But then we get to these 2 planeswalkers. Now, these 2 planeswalkers are essentially the planeswalker deck's planeswalkers, kind of like we got with Chandra and Nissa. And we get this, again, with Tezzeret and Ajani. Except it's Ajani, Valiant Protector, and Tezzeret, Master of Metal, which is a great name. Now, this Tezzeret is not the Tezzeret we are going to see in this set. I'm almost certain we're going to see the Tezzeret. We're going to see our version, because this isn't even the art we got in Spoiled for Kaladesh with Tezzeret. So, I'm certain we will see an actual different Tezzeret in this set. But this is not the Tezzeret we're getting. The Tezzeret we have right here, the Master Metal, is, again, in fact, all of these guys are 6 mana. So, 6 mana again, except 1 black, 1 blue this time. 5 loyalty for Tezzeret. +1 is reveal the top card of your library until you... reveal the top card of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put that card into your hand, and then the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. It's a search ability then, and if you're running a heavy artifact deck, that's fine. -3, target opponent loses life equal to the number of artifacts you control. Clearly this is going to be something that you need to be playing artifacts with, but if you're playing artifacts and you got like 5 or 6 on the field, just -3, and you know, maybe even use it in some conjunction with Ajani in some way, or just some way to give him more tokens, then it starts to become a very plausible way to deal with things. And then -8, gain control of all artifacts and creatures target opponent controls. It's pretty much Memnarch on steroids. So that's honestly not too bad, but it's a niche planeswalker. It needs to be in the artifact deck. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't just put this in a blue-black mill deck or something unless there's heavy artifacts in it. So it's just one of those things that it's actually not a bad card, but it's in a niche. It's in a niche deck. I can see this. I can see people having fun with this in Commander, though. Oh my god, I can see Commander shenanigans going on. Ajani Valiant Protector is the same cost as Ajani Unyielding, 6 mana, 1 green, and 1 white. Also, relatively same. It has a +2 and 4 loyalty to start with, but his +2 is put 2+1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature. Why not just say put 2+1/+1s on target creature? I don't get up to 1. If it was up to 2, that'd be one thing. Or space between, that'd be one thing. But it's, I don't get that wording. The wording just stupid. He also has another plus ability, which is interesting. Reveal a card from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand, the rest on the bottom of the library in any random order. So it's essentially the exact same as Tezzeret's Master Metals +1, except it's for creatures. But he's got 2 plus abilities, which it's better than 1 plus and 1 minus ability. But then again, at least the first minus ability usually has some sort of effect on the board. But then his ultimate is a -11. So, but that's obviously why he gets 2 pluses. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is your life total. The target creature gets trampled till the end of turn. As far as ultimates go, in terms of the board play, I think I prefer Ajani Unyielding, but in terms of just, for a beginning planeswalker kind of thing, that's a pretty good ability, especially if this is late in the game, you're dealing with, and it's a green-white card, so this deck's probably going to have life gain involved in it. With that being said, with life gain involved in it, yeah, I mean, let's say you're even just at 10 life at that point. That's still +10/+10. Is that counters? I just want to remember. Yeah, that's counters. That's the +10/+10 permanent boost you're giving to it. Even a 0/1 becomes a 10/11 with trample. So, and that being said, in a life gain deck, it's going to be higher, probably because it's an 11 minus. So it's not a realistic number to get to, but it's fun. I think I like these guys better than I liked Chandra and Nissa. So we'll have to see how that plays. Those maybe play out. But let's get on to some of these other ones real quick, because I've already gone into the 8-minute route. This is probably going to be a 20-minute video at this rate. But I'll try to speed things up while still being specific. We had 4 other preview cards prior to that, and then we had a bunch of preview cards after that. So we have Yaheni's, I believe it's Yaheni's Expertise. Now, Yaheni is the Aetherborn that was assisting Nissa and Chandra. And she was, in the story we got last week, she's tapping into her Essence Drain ability, where she can actually absorb the essence and the Aether of other individuals and prolong her life. She's doing it for actually good. She realizes that this can be used in a way for good. Now, the card itself is a sorcery rare. Yaheni's Expertise costs 2 black, 2 of any color. All creatures get -3/-3 till the end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Are you flipping kidding me? I am not a black player. I play, okay, I'm not a mono black player. If you were to tell me what mono colors I like to play, it goes blue, green, red in that order. But I use black in certain forms in certain decks. You're telling me you're for 4 mana, depending on your pronunciation, I can wipe pretty much an entire board. That's a Wrath of God effect. Then I get a free card to cast, and in the right deck, let's say a black-red deck, which is where haste exists a lot of time, I can play a 3-costing creature for haste, swing in, and deal more damage. Or I can play a heavy-duty artifact. Or I can play a freaking... Or if I have something with a butt that's bigger than 3 mana, those live, or 3 toughness, that lives, and I can crew vehicles or something like. I can do. There's so much wrong and right with this card at once. This card is going to be a bomb in this set. It's going to be a bomb in this format, and I don't know the formats very well. I can tell you this thing will be a bomb in this format. So yeah, love that card, and I don't like black that much. It's my least favorite color. I don't hate any of the colors. I just play it the least. Trophy Mage is next. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Trophy Mage is a uncommon human wizard, 1 generic, 2 generic, 1 blue, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with a converted mana cost of 3. Reveal it. Exactly 3. Fascinating. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Now, we have an artifact creature next that it costs 3, but 3 or less, or just 3, seems to be a interesting... let me just actually check a couple other ones. No, okay, Heart of Crime, okay, so, I mean, we don't have a lot of artifacts revealed right now. We only have one other one that's a vehicle, and it's a mythic. But along with the scrap, I'm wondering if 3 converted mana cost, or just 3, is going to be some sort of sub-theme going on. But essentially, it's a search card. It's a looter. You're going to use it, absolutely. In fact, you might use it even just to get the Scrap Trawler, which is next. Scrap Trawler, which I like this, by the way. I like this art. It's a giant mechanical spider crab thing. Very, very horror-esque looking. But it's not. It's just a construct. 3 mana of any color. 3/2. When it or another artifact you control is put into the graveyard from battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card with in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost. Okay, mana cost seems to actually be a very big thing right now. I mean, granted, there's only 12 cards, and 2 of those are the Planeswalker Dex cards, so 10 cards. Well, but mana cost seems to be a running theme right now. Now, that being said, yeah, when it or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost. It's a recursion card. In fact, I could see like a sort of endless cycle if you get the right cards together. Now, I can't think of that kind of stuff off the top of my head. I'd have to have a certain type of cards in front of me to look at them and see what I could do. But I could definitely see like an infinite recursion strategy being formed from this. Unless, someone plays, I don't know, you hand these expertise and just essence... Well, even then, they'll still get artifacts back, assuming they got something in their graveyard. So it's fine. I mean, just as a 3/2 for 3 of any color, it's playable. The fact that it will get you stuff back just kind of helps it out a bit. Quicksmith Rebel. 3 mana of any color, 1 red. A 3/2 Human Artificer rare. And the other card was rare too. When it enters the battlefield, target artifact you control gains. This artifact tap it. This artifact deals 2 damage to target creature or player for as long as you control this card. If you're running multiples, maybe. Really, and even then, I don't think you'd really want to be running multiples more than maybe 2 copies of this. For what it's worth, it's fine. Yeah. Actually, when it enters the battlefield, as long as you control Quicksmith, so actually, multiples of this would actually benefit you more. I'm like, I get it, maybe 2, 3 at the max, because this does cost 4 mana for a 3/2. But, that being said, it says that the artifact can deal 2 damage so long as you control a Quicksmith Rebel. Or so long as you control Quicksmith Rebel. But if you're controlling more than 1 copy of that, that means one of these things can die, you still control Quicksmith Rebel. So I assume that means that you can, you'll still be able to get those ping effects. As it is, it's an okay card. It's nothing amazing. I can see it working really well with, like, not Affinity. What's the... why am I blanking on the name of the ability that produces their servos at a +1/+1 counters? Hold on. Kaladesh. 1 second. And I know I'm gonna figure it out the minute I go towards this. Okay, what is it? Fabricate. That was it. Fabricate. Yeah. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, with something like Fabricate, I could see that maybe being interesting, but overall, I don't see it being anything super effective or amazing. Then we already talked about our Planeswalker cards, but Heart of Kiran now, or Kiran. Now, this is for 2 of any color, you get a 4/4 Flying Vigilance vehicle that cruises for 3. Already, it's a pretty solid vehicle. You may remove a loyalty counter from a Planeswalker you control, rather than Heart of Kiran's mana cost. Or Hurricane's crew costs. Now, I've read some of the forums. People are like, I'd rather just keep my Planeswalker. It's not worth it. But when you have, like, Ajani Unyielding, and you have things to protect it, plus Ajani can do +2, and you can just pay 1. It will still get a plus. You can, in theory, have a couple of these on the field. Maybe a couple servos, crew with 1 servo, and keep blocking and protecting. Granted, there's ways to get around it, obviously, but still, I don't actually think this is a very bad card at all. This is actually a pretty decent card, all things considered. It's not amazing because it doesn't have like a first strike or trample ability or even a damage-really inducing ability, but for what it is, I think it's pretty good. Now, is it mythic status? I think taking the loyalty thing makes it actually mythic status, simply because if you don't want to really be using your Planeswalkers of Ultimate at all, you can just +2, make it swing, +2, make it swing, so forth and so on. I'm wondering, though, if we're going to see a card in this set that will actually keep vehicles active as creatures, because as far as I know, we didn't get one in Kaladesh, and I would imagine we're getting due for something like that. 4 more cards to go, and what's the time frame on this? Because I also got to go to work in about 15 minutes, but I should be fine. Aether Revolution. Now we got 4 different story cards here. Story card number 2. We don't have number 1, but we have number 2. Aether Revolution. 2 of any color, 1 red. Enchantment. Whenever a non-artifact creature or artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Aether Revolution deal 3 damage to him or her. So basically, this is actually for your non-artifact. This is a big card for your non-artifact deck because whenever a non-token. Oh no, it's for your artifact deck. Sorry, but that being said, whenever your vehicles or artifact creatures go, they will come back unless they want to take damage. Either way, you're getting a perpetual, like Filigree Fox. I think that was what it is, or Filigree Familiar, the Fox. Can you imagine that card in combination with this? I don't believe your opponent would want you to continue having that effect. Or, better yet, what was it? The Gearsmiths? Not Gearsmiths. Oh, God. Now I gotta go check it again. It's that cycle of the things that either... some of them gave energy. Not all of them gave energy. I know that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna go straight to the artifacts on here. Alright. Puzzle knots. That was it. It was the puzzle knots. With the puzzle knots, you can perpetually keep playing your puzzle knots unless they stop you. And in energy decks, like with the blue and green one, that one that gives you life, one lets you scry, that's really good. So eventually they gotta be like, okay, do I want him to keep playing this thing that's gonna give him energy and life, or energy and hell? And how about both in a teamer style deck? I like this card now that I'm thinking about this. This is actually making me really giddy. I kind of want this card and just put it in a deck. Which I did build an energy deck. I think it was what style did I make the energy deck in? I think it's a teamer energy deck. Yeah, I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty certain that's how I designed it. Pretty certain anyway. But anyway, disallow it's pretty much dispel, it's pretty much cancel, but with a few extra abilities. Counter target spell, activate ability, or triggered ability. It's a pumped up cancel. Because let's put it this way: counter target spell on cancel. That's usually it's a common card. Put activate ability and or trigger on it. Let's go with or trigger ability on it. And immediately gets bumped up to at least an uncommon, maybe even rare status on that alone. Yeah, put both on there. You give options. It's a rare card. Yeah, perfectly good card. We got Battle on the Bridge, and that's another story card, by the way. It's How Easily Your Flames Are Quelched. Brawlin, Chief of Compliance. I believe that's the guy who's after Chandra, he must have learned how to snuff fire and stuff during his time. But other story card, Battle on the Bridge. This is bigger than you, all of you, as Tezzeret says. Now, the Battle on the Bridge is X and 1 black mana. Improvise is the new mechanic being shown in this. Your artifacts can help you cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities, pay for 1. Now, until I actually saw someone describe it, I didn't know how to interpret that. That is really weirdly worded. However, how I understand it is, it's pretty much artifact convoke. That's what it is, which we technically have some convoke already. It's like a combination of Infinity Convoke, more or less. Which is interesting, and on a black spell that pretty much does X -X until the end of turn, where you gain X after that to a target creature. Yeah, that's a good card. It's a rare. Play it. The last one, and it's number 5 in the story cards. It's where the story's going to end up. Where Tezra says this is bigger than you are, all of you, leads us to Amonkhet, because we have dark, and it's not intimidations, it's intimations, dark intimations. 2 of any color, 1 black, 1 blue, 1 red. Grixis, baby. Now that said, I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually seeing in this art right now. I'm seeing a lone figure, which I'm going to guess is Tezzeret. I don't know if those are skeletons or broken down ships. I want to say they're broken down ships of some kind. We'll have to figure out what his endgame is. But each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, then discards a card. You return a creature or planeswalker a card from your graveyard to your hand, and then draw a card. A lot of people are saying this has a Cruel Intentions feel, or Cool Ultimatum, and yeah, a little bit. But then big one. When you cast a Bolas Planeswalker spell, exile Dark Intimations from your graveyard. That Planeswalker enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on it. So the card itself is actually pretty decent. It's a rare card. I dig it. That last part, though, is very telling a bit for what we might see with Nico Bolas. Now, this has been a while since it's God knows how long since we've last seen Nico Bolas. We're going to see him again on given. It's hands down given. The question is, how is his card going to look? Is his ultimate or his -2 going to be like 1 less than his actual starting loyalty? And when you play this, it makes all the difference? I have a feeling that is the case, which makes me wonder, what the hell are his abilities in this new card that are going to make this a more dangerous card to play? I don't know. Nico Bolas is one of my favorite planeswalkers simply because he's a freaking dragon. Ugin also falls in there. Ugin and Nico Bolas are just dragon planeswalkers, and I love them. I have some other ones I dig on too, but those guys are like my big two. So the question then becomes, what does this really tell for us? Well, we're probably going to have to wait till we actually read the story around that card to find out. But yeah, that's the previews we've got received so far. There's probably going to be a couple more as December goes on before we get to the actual spoiler seasons. But yeah, I mean, so far most of the stuff looks pretty good. Granted, they're not going to spoil too many shit cards, I assume. Most of this looks pretty decent. Like the worst card I saw here, honestly, was probably the Quicksmith Rebel, and that's not even that bad. It's just okay in my mind. But yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Ideas or who-wins, what-ifs, put those in the comments below. Tomorrow's who would win will be Byakuya Kuchi versus Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho. Should also be able to get the death battle prediction of tomorrow because they should do their thing. I don't know if it's been revealed who he's fighting yet or not. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.